Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Alkemalon Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we show that we care about the things that we do. And once again, I just want to acknowledge the new year. We have been blessed to be able to see another year. And let's focus on this year, not focusing on ourselves, but others as well as ourselves. Let's consider others as well as ourselves. You know, last year was last year. I just put it like that. This is a new year, so we're going to focus on this year. And I would like to say that, last year we had a lot of deaths and stuff, but this year it's a whole new year. And we got to leave the past in the past. You don't have to forget about it, but we don't have to carry it with us every day and tread on it. We deal with it the best that we can. And as I often tell people, you don't know what other people are going through. Sometimes, when you lose a loved one, a mother, a father, sisters and brothers, and people have a tendency to say, I know what you're going through, but you don't really know what that person is going through. So let's not try to say we know what they're going through unless we really know. Because if you haven't lost a mother, you can't tell nobody that you know what they're going through if they lost one, or a father, or a sister, or a brother. So we want to be mindful and to just at least, let that person know that I'll be praying for you. I'm going to keep you up in prayer, and I just hope that things get better for you. Is there anything that I can do to help you, to help make that load a little bit lighter for you? And, and moving along, we have a tendency in business to just focus on ourselves. But as I often say, it's not all about me. It's about when it's you, we win. When it's about me, we win. And we always want to focus and look at things like that. And as I often used to say, what my father would say, the only time you look down on a man is when you're picking him up. And we want to be able to pick up, push, lift, and help meet the need of others. We always want somebody to help me, help me, help me. But sometimes we need somebody to help us help ourselves, kind of help point you in the right direction. Somebody might need you to help put them in the right direction. So we want to be mindful and keep that in mind and not focus. Remember, there are other businesses that's doing businesses, black business, all kind of business, different colors. It's just one color, but we want to be mindful and lift one another up. We want to consider them as well as ourselves. Treat them the way we want to be treated ourselves. When if there's I can't think of the name of but a barbecue place down the street. Well, little pieces in East Point on Gratiot, right off of on the other side of 8 Mile. And every now and then, I stop in there and give my man a play and let him know that I enjoy his barbecue and just want to give him a play. And sometimes, if I'm fortunate enough to have a couple extra dollars, I'll try to sow a seed into what he's doing. My father would say, if you in need of money, whatever you're sowing, a lot of people don't understand the meaning of sowing. When you plant a green seed, you get greens. When you plant a corn seed, you get corn. When you plant beans, you get beans. Sometimes today we say we sow into people's business as well as them. We sow money seeds. And sometimes, we have to kind of turn it loose a little bit. You just can't hold on to it. My four pastors used to mention, say, when you got money in your hand and you holding on to it tight, he said, can't nothing get in and can't nothing get out. But as you giving, you were releasing and your hand is open to be able to receive sometimes. So we want to be mindful and we want to focus on doing those different things, trying to lift others up and help meeting their needs and not just think about ourselves all the time. I barbecue here and I don't expect people to just come to see me all the time. I tell them sometimes you might have a taste for somebody else's barbecue, not just mine. If Ella Piaki here was barbecuing, somebody might have a little taste for his barbecue. I don't think they would like mine. But you never know. Sometimes, people have them taste buds and they, you get a taste of something different. You get tired of eating the same thing all the time. So I don't expect people to come to see me all the time, but every now and then I tell them, you don't just have to come in and buy a barbecue or whatever. Just stick your head in the door. If you just took a little time out and stop in and just say, hey, John, how you doing? I was in the neighborhood. It makes me feel good just to know that you're thinking about me. And my brother here, Piaki, sometime even on his off day, he just want to come down and sit down and we drink coffee. And that makes me feel good because he enjoyed just being around my company sometime. So at this time, I'm going to let Ella Piaki have a few words to say this new year.
Well, I want to say to all of us who made it on this side of 2024, Happy New Year to you. And what my brother here from another mother has just alluded to is we got to be about a we thing instead of a me thing this year, because it takes a village, they say, to raise a child. And we, as a group of people, can do more together than we can as individuals. When we add those dollars together, put them dollars in each other's hand, make sure it bounces in our community for at least 10 to 12 days, then we can get better use of that money. The people who do cut hair, they could use them dollars. People who barbecue could use them dollars. People who fix cars out on the side of the curb can use them dollars. I mean, we go to these other folks' businesses and they become billionaires. It's time we make ourselves billionaires. And we can do that by, they say, each one, teach one, each one, reach one. And that's something that the village teaches it to the youth when they come in. Maybe it's the first time some of them ever heard it. But it's a principle that if you live by, and we got 340 some more days to live by, at least you make it 340 something days that you make them dollars bounce in your community, and you have a richer community, and you have things that you will see happen that hadn't happened before. We can give ourselves our own reparations instead of waiting on somebody else to give it to us, because we made these corporations rich. We spend our dollars with them and don't try and compete with them. We just accept what they throw at us. Now we're finding out in the different industries that they contaminating the food. They shortchanging your own type of quality of material you buy. So we got to do for ourselves more than what we can't outdo what our grandparents did, because they had to do for themselves. They had no choice. And the problem with us, we got too many choices. In other words, we make the wrong choices sometimes. Start making the right choices. When you look in the mirror and you see somebody in there you like, keep liking that what you saw in the mirror. But if you look in the mirror and you see somebody you don't like, you got time to change. And keep that little change, them little penny jars you got stashed in the closet. Put that change to use. It's not going to do no good hiding in a jar. So circulate your dollars among yourselves this year. And I think in 2025, we'll see a better day. Go ahead, brother.
Thank you, Ella Piaki. Thank you for sharing. Man, I always enjoy having you around because every time you open your mouth, I learn something. And equally as well as Ella Piaki was talking, I was thinking about some of the different businesses here in the neighborhood. We have the food exchange right down the street, home of the Big Baby Hamburgers. For those of you that might be listening, I'm sure you have heard of that. And the barbecue place I was telling you about, that's on on Gratiot, and I think it's Eagle in East Point. It's called Big Ken's Barbecue. So let's make sure that we take a few moments out of our schedule from time to time to at least run by there and holler at those two brothers. Unfortunately, a big baby's Big Bruce down the street there, he died a couple of years ago, but the legacy lives on. The legend is still here, and we keep them alive in spirit when we think about them, when we talk about it, when we lift them up. We remember them. They live on in our hearts. Every time we say something about our loved ones that we miss so dearly, they live on in our hearts. Even, like I say, when we mention them and talk about them, we are also lifting them up. So remember, each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And we just have to remember to support one another. That's, that syndrome, like I say, that Kraft syndrome. Let's get away from that. We don't have to do that. Do you realize how much time and energy that it takes that we waste trying to hate on somebody, trying to talk about somebody, trying to be mad at somebody, all frowned up when you speak about certain people in particular. I mean, it don't take a whole lot. You can lift people up and it makes you feel good as well as you lifting somebody else up. We have to find ourselves doing stuff like that. It don't hurt us to live. When I talk about Ella Piatti, it don't hurt me to tell people about how good of a man he is. It don't take nothing from me neither. So, let's treat people the way we want to be treated. Let's lift them up the way we want people to lift us up. Ella Piatti, would you like to have anything else to say?
I'd like to throw this at the audience. There's a song on the album. I don't know the name of the album, but it's by Billy Paul. And they don't give Billy Paul no airplay on these radios. But the name of the song is Let the Dollar Circulate. And that got a lot of information in it. If you find the time, find the song and listen to it. And I want to thank you all for being a part of this program and giving us the chance to express ourselves.
Thank you, Ella Piatti. I appreciate you. And that's why, as well, I like to take the time out as every chance that I get to make sure that I mention Londen, Doris, and the rest of the family here on the network, because she's doing such a great job. She's getting information out to people. She's sharing. She's helping to encourage and build others. She tells me a lot of time about different businesses in the neighborhood. Sometimes she told me about a place over there on Schoolcraft, and I think it's Plymouth. Schoolcraft and Plymouth, if I'm not mistaken. A little hamburger joint over there. And I'm over here on Van Dyke and Harper, right off of 94 and Van Dyke.
Yeah, I remember we went over there one time.
Ella Piatti and I, we went over there to patronize that brother because she told us about it, but if we didn't know, we would have never known about him. And he got some good food too. My old-fashioned burgers. I really enjoyed it. I got to get back over there and holler at my man too. So remember, here at the Accumulant Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We show that we care about the things that we do. And that's why I'm trying to share this information. I want you to reach out in touch.